All right, we are here with a former Hallsville Lady Cat and current LeTourneau golfer who's tearing it up in the NCAA world right now. Kinley Pessel. Kinley, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about this past week that you've had. SCAC championship medalist, which is the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference for LeTourneau. You won the entire meet. It's your fifth individual title of the season. You had a 7 over 187, which was also a program record in the conference tournament. So, talk to me about that conference championship at the Hawks Creek Golf Club in Westworth Village. Talk to me about that tournament and how that went for you.
It was a pretty great week for, even us as a whole, but that first day, it was kind of rough and I was just getting over it. But, playing out there and I had to get my, mind right, like realize, hey, this is the conference, you need to, play well. And so the next day, I was able to bring it back in and then, the final day we had. So.
Well, and how is that as a golfer? Like you have to have that mentality of just go to the next shot, right? Like you can't just tally on that last shot or whatever. So how is it when you have a day like that where you shoot a 77 in the first round and then come back out that next day with a 72? What's that shift in a mindset for you?
Well, it's a hard mindset to get. Like it's not something that's easy at all. But it's just like I just have to keep telling myself, okay, listen, this is the first hole. Who cares what happens? Like, all right, now this is the second hole. You still have 17 more holes. Like it'll be okay. And so I think that just relieving myself of that and realizing that, that's what helps me a lot.
And you did mention it too that the as a team, the LeTourneau women's golf team won the first ever SCAC title. So to be a part of that, to be a part of something that will go down forever in the history books, if you were a part of this team that won the first conference championship for LeTourneau, what does that mean when you hear that?
I think that that's just so impressive. And like it tells you as a whole, we are out there and we're trying and we're, just wanting to do the best. And so I think that it's just really impressive from all around. And
Well,
even saying, those 2 days, like the girls, they put up some impressive scores. I think this was one of our best rounds yet. So.
Well, what's been the vibe like with you and the girls? What's the team vibe like? Because it's a long season, right? You travel to a lot of places, and you play a lot of holes of golf. So what's the chemistry like with the team?
It's great. I mean, we pretty much do our own thing, but outside of golf, we all have our different things that we're doing. We have jobs and we're all practicing. But other than that, in the being like in the van and like all that, it's great chemistry. So.
Well, let's talk about this season that you've been having because five tournament wins, which is a program record, and then five SCAC Golfer of the Week awards, which is also a program record. So you're just over here setting up program records at LeTourneau. But talk about this season for me. What's obviously it's been going well for you, winning five tournaments. But what's it been like? Do you think personally for you? How do you feel like this season has gone?
It's honestly just given me the confidence that I've needed. Like I know in the fall, I had two great tournament rounds and pretty strong starts, and I think that it's just like given me what I've needed to realize, like, okay, you can play golf, you can do this, you are able to compete. So.
Well, and one other note about this past tournament is that you were the first conference tournament champion for LeTourneau in 15 years, 16 years, I guess, since 2010. So again, when you hear something like that, like what does that mean to you when you again know that listen, this my name's going to be in the record books, like no matter whatever else happens, like that's etched in stone and can't take that away. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's really impressive. Like it's something I didn't, expect coming here, but I think it's just something that it's so cool to be a part of now and, forever.
Well, you mentioned being impressive and not expecting what I guess obviously when you go to college you expect to do well and to perform well and to do all that. But I guess what were your expectations coming out of Hallsville? Like when you went to college, what did you imagine that, breaking records and doing stuff like this would be possible?
So when I went when I went to college, started off at a different place and it was not like I honestly after my freshman year, my coach even told me he was like, I didn't expect you to come back. Like you just really, you just it was freshman year's hard, and but then that second, year I came back and he was impressed, and then coming here, third year, like it has been such an upward trend. Like I think I've just really found myself in this sport.
And that's a good point too. Like being at LeTourneau, how much has that helped grow you as a person? You talked about finding yourself in the sport, but outside of the sport too. I mean, the sport included, but outside of that, how much have you grown as a person at LeTourneau?
Well, I can definitely say that like my my 3 years in college have been completely different, and this year has probably been one of the hardest, but also the most rewarding. A lot has come out of it that I didn't expect to. And, just keeping up with everything with my school, with grades, working, like, I mean, I've pushed myself a lot, and so I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
Well, and that's something that we don't talk about a lot. Like you are a student athlete, right? Like it's a
Mhm.
student first, and then on top of that, having to have a job to pay for, things and all that. So how difficult is it as a young woman to balance all of that, to have, the job, the schoolwork, the personal life, and then to also excel in your sport? How difficult is it to balance all that?
It's very difficult. Like from this semester and last semester, I work Mondays through, I've had two different jobs since I've been here, and I worked Mondays through Thursdays. And it was just like balancing, practicing and with all that now. And it's a lot, but it is manageable. And I did do it, and I had good grades too. So I'm just really proud.
Well, that's the kicker. You're doing great on the golf course, but the classroom is a big deal too. What are you majoring in? What is it that you want to do after you graduate?
So right now I'm doing marketing. I'm looking into sales. That's kind of where I've been leaning to. I'm not really sure, but I just know that, you can make you can make a lot of people and friends on the golf course with sales. So
That's a good, see, you're thinking ahead right here. You go out on the golf course, impress with your skills. Maybe, hey, I get your business if I make this hole here. You know what I mean? Maybe a little segue there.
mhm.
That'd be good. That's a good idea. So I want to ask you lastly about the NCAA championships coming up. You're headed to Palm Desert, California, the Desert Willow Golf Resort, May 19th through the 22nd. First time ever, obviously, like we talked about, that LeTourneau has gone there as a team. What are your expectations for yourself personally at the championships, and then how do you think the team will respond that being there for the first time?
So I can say my expectations for myself, like, it's definitely I want another under round. That is my goal. That was my goal at conference, and I came pretty close to it, but didn't happen. And this course is beautiful, and that's one of my goals personally for myself, but I think as a team, I think we can do pretty well. I think that we just need to have the right mental strength and keep a positive outlook on it no matter what happens, because this is our first time going, and I think that even that is such an accomplishment. So,
Yeah, I think just going there for be free. That would be my
mhm.
advice. Be free, play free, because yeah, it's first time being there, and you want to get back, right? So learn what you can and to get back there. Well, Kinley, you've had an outstanding season, and it's not done yet. You still got the championships coming up. So best of luck to you and the LeTourneau girls in the NCAA championships. And I'm sure we'll talk to you down the road.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, bye, Kinley. Have a good one.
Bye.